Assalamu alaikum. Can anyone please confirm me if I'm audible or not?
Yes, you are audible.
I would request our participants to mute their audio, please. So thank you so much for confirming, Nazrana. First of all, a very good evening to all. I am hoping that you all are staying safe and healthy with your friends and family in the midst of this pandemic. I am Zarin Tasneem, Vice Chairperson of Women in Engineering Affinity Group of IEEE IIC Student Branch, and I'll be your host for today. I would like to thank everyone here who has joined us for today's session through Zoom. We are also live on Facebook, so I'll request our executives to drop the link of our Facebook Live in the chat section, please, so that you guys can catch up with us there and share our live with your friends and family as well. So without any further delay, let us begin our today's session with the praise of Most Merciful Almighty Allah. I would like to call upon Syed Shahriar Hassan, Lead of Corporate and External, IEEE Day 2021 Celebration Committee, and Program Committee member, IEEE IIUC Student Branch, to recite a few verses from Holy Quran.
Am I audible? Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, you are audible, Shahriar. Wa alaikum assalam.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Qul ya ayyuhal kafirun, la a'budu ma ta'budun, wa la antum 'abiduna ma a'bud, wa la ana 'abidun ma 'abadtum. ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد لكم دينكم ولي دين. Translation: In the name of Allah, most graceful, most merciful. Say, O disobeyers, I don't worship those whom you worship, nor do you worship him whom I worship. Nor will I worship those whom you worship, nor will you worship him whom I worship. Your religion is for you, and my religion is for me. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you so much, Shahriar, for your wonderful recitation. So moving on, as we all might know, IEEE Day was celebrated for the first time in history when engineers worldwide and IEEE members gathered to share their technical ideas in 1884. Since then, the annual event has been celebrated on the first Tuesday in October. According to this, IEEE Day 2021 was held on 5th October with the theme Leveraging Technology for a Better Tomorrow. While the world benefits from what's new, IEEE focuses on what's next. IEEE Day 2021 is being celebrated among all organizational units of IEEE at IIUC as well. Following this celebration of IEEE Day, this year, our IEEE Student Branch, along with WIE Affinity Group and its 4 societies, has organized a series of total 10 webinars, 5 contests, and 1 workshop under the title IEEE Day 2021, powered by Alturio Engineering. So in this context, the topic of today's webinar is Trustworthiness and Reliability of Engineering and IT Professionals, organized by IEEE IIC Student Branch, along with its WIE Affinity Group, to educate us about the trustworthiness and reliability of professionals in terms of honesty, dishonesty, confidentiality, intellectual property, expert witnessing, informing the public, and conflicts of interest. Our webinar has been enhanced by the presence of our honorable chief guest, Professor Dr. Celia Shahnaz Ma'am, Department of EEE, BUET, 2018 to June 2021, Chair, IEEE Bangladesh Section, Chair, IEEE SPS Women in Signal Processing Committee, and IEEE WI History Subcommittee, elected Chair, IEEE WI Committee Chair Election 2022, and our speaker for today's session, Professor Dr. Mohammad Harunur Rashid Sir, Fellow IET UK, Life Fellow IEEE USA, Professor of Electrical and Computer Engineering, Florida Polytechnic University, USA. and our guest of honor, Dr. Noor Mohammad Sir, Professor of Department of EEE, Chuet, Counselor IEEE Chuet Student Branch, and our session chair, Dr. Engineer Abdul Qadir Mohammad Masoom Sir, Associate Professor, Department of CAC, Award Coordinator, IEEE Computer Society Bangladesh Chapter, and Counselor 2021, IEEE IIC Student Branch, as well as Advisor of IEEE Computer Society, IIC Student Branch Chapter.
Sometimes. Yeah.
Honorable guests and speaker, it is a pleasure and honor for all of us students to have you among us here today. So now I would like to request our guests and speakers and executives as well to turn on their camera if possible so that we can save some screenshots as a memory of this event. I will request our executives to take some screenshots and confirm me after they're done with it. And request the participants and attendees of this webinar to open their cameras if possible.
Screenshot taken.
Thank you for confirming, Nazrana. So as we are done taking the screenshots, now I'd like to call our chief guest, Professor Dr. Celia Shahnaz Ma'am, Department of EEE, Buet, 2018 to June 2021 Chair, IEEE Bangladesh Section, Chair, IEEE SPS Women in Signal Processing Committee and IEEE WI History Subcommittee, elected Chair for IEEE WI Committee Chair Election 2022 to convey her insightful opening session. Ma'am, can we have the floor to you?
Thank you, Jarin. It's a wonderful initiative, and I'd like to thank all the student volunteers who are really working hard under their mentorship. And you have good mentors. The most important thing is that you have the energy to bring new initiatives, and you are future leaders. And today's speaker, Professor Harun Rashid Sir, is a very renowned person. I have been reading his books, and also I did my PhD from Canada, Concord University, Canada, where he was a professor. And Sir has a huge experience in outcome-based quality education. And SAR has huge contribution in promoting quality conferences in our country. And the title is Trustworthiness and Reliability of Engineers and IT Professionals. It's a huge terminology, trustworthiness. So actually, the ethics does not start in a day. It should be start from the childhood. As an engineer, where we usually, as an academician, I teach and I write papers along with my students. So it is important to focus on the contributions on novelty, and which are not copied from others. So it is important to cite references properly, and it is important to really tell your contribution clearly. So publication ethics is most important when you are writing any document, whether you are from academia or from industry. If you are going to the industry, don't you have many of you have an idea that you don't need publication. You know, if you look at IEEE, there are thousands of IEEE members who are from industries, and there are many fellows of IEEE who are from industry. So you need to also deal with IEEE standards. If you work in industry, even if you're staying in academia, you can deal with IEEE standards. And IEEE has a global standard association for it. So to introduce a standard, you need high trustworthiness, reliability, ethics. So these are very important things. And also ethics start from your undergrad life, submitting the lab report, that is important. So trustworthiness, trust from your writing the lab report, okay, and sitting in your class test. So then it is replicated in your publication, replicated in your course delivery, replicated in your research project, replicated in your consultancy, replicated when you will design an electrical wiring for your any building, any commercial building. I did my consultancy from WIT in many big buildings in Bangladesh, and I know what is reliability and design is, because when you are calculating a load, you really need a particular wire of particular size. To reduce the cost, you cannot just give, you cannot just give a wire with reduced size. So this is important. And sometimes in the design as an engineer, you can give a proper design so that no accidents happen. But as a maintenance engineer also, you have to make sure all of this. These are just very good examples of your everyday life, because when you go to your study room, you need a computer, you need a fan, you need, sometimes if you are privileged, you may have AC, but make sure at your home those connections are there. So ethics start from your home, and as an engineering student, you can check every moment that whether ethics and your trustworthiness and reliability is maintained or not, and it will carry forward for the whole life. But I care most about, since I'm a researcher, I care about Google Scholar citations. And also, sometimes you will see some Google Scholar citation will run flat. Ultimately, suddenly it became jump. So we cannot do, we should not do also any fabrication, right? Google Scholar citation will move in your own way because your work is significant and people will be citing. We do not need to do any other thing to really keep it jumping like anything. And so these are very good examples of our everyday life. Sir will be telling something different, but I got the title, I understood, and that how to mentor our young child for their trustworthiness and reliability. So I will talk with you in some other occasions. I'm really happy that you got Sir, and he will be delivering you a meaningful and impactful lecture, and you will be getting benefited. I like to thank Dr. Noor Muhammad. He's a very good researcher and most important, a passionate silent volunteers. His trustworthiness is so good. He does a lot of reviews and he never says no. And he does it with so much sincerity. So it is time for us to recognize every single person. Remember that this is also your trustworthiness. If you do not recognize a person, people will never recognize you. That's also your reliability, that you create the friendship in your network. And thank you, Dr. Kader, and thank you, Dr. Masum, and especially a bunch of young talented volunteers who really doing amazing job. Thank you for the opportunity. I have an ongoing program going on. I have just finished one global event at 7 p.m., then started another, and now I have to join another meeting. But I love to see your faces. I love how organized way you are doing it. I'm feeling proud because if you can make good leaders, that will be my satisfaction, and I'm getting that satisfaction. But most important thing is that you must be technically very sound, and your technical profile and research profile should be very good to make you a trustworthy and reliable IEEE volunteer to lead the smart world. Thank you very much once again for invitation. Hope you will enjoy Professor Harun Rashid's talk. And have you seen his book, YOLO cover book? If not, please read it. Please read it, and please inspire others to buy it. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your
Walaikum
enlightening
assalam.
words.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your enlightening words toward the undergraduate students. And we are really delighted and grateful to have you among us today. Within your busy schedule, you still managed to give us some time. So we are really grateful for that. So moving on, the next dignitary to honor us with his presence is our guest of honor, Dr. Nur Muhammad Sir, Professor of Department of IEEE Truett, Counselor IEEE Truett Student Branch. I'd like to call Sir to share a few words with us.
Thank you, Jareen.
Welcome, Sir.
Assalamu alaikum and good night, everybody in this webinar organized by IEEE, IIUC, SB, and WIE Affinity Group. Thanks to our chief guest, Professor Dr. Celia Shahnaz. A big congratulations for being elected as chair in IEEE WIE Committee 2020-2022. Thanks to Dr. Engineer Abdul Qadir Masoom for leading these young minds from the front. You have been truly motivating them. We are going to enlighten from our renowned and experienced keynote speaker today, Professor Dr. Muhammad Harun Rashid from Florida Polytechnic University, USA. Thank you, sir, for being here. Your presence encourages us a lot. Hello, IIEC. You have been actively engaged in different socio-technical and awareness activities. As today's webinar on trustworthiness and reliability of engineering and IT professionals is of its first kind, I think. Yes, we need to arrange events like this more and more to raise awareness that promotes professional standards of excellence and trustworthiness. I think both the trustworthiness and reliability is a part of engineering ethics. Today, people have to depend on the service from different fields. Truly, people in general usually don't have sufficient knowledge and expertise as we have on many aspects. They have to rely on and put trust on us. Trust implies fair dealings must be earned carefully and protected over time. Few key ethical virtues for engineering, like honesty, refers not to deceive, cheat, or steal while dealing with clients, colleagues, or the public. Integrity refers the courage to do the right things with range of knowledge and necessary skills. As an engineer and academician, we must know and at the same time teach to our students the standard of operational behavior and ethical obligation to be responsible. I hope in this webinar, we will learn more on virtues and code of professional ethics from our distinguished keynote speaker. Lastly, I must say IEEE IIUC has done a great job and wish to arrange startup and program like this in future. Keep your activities up. All the best. Stay safe. Thank you all once again.
Thank you so much, sir. We are really honored that you recognize the hard work of our IEEE student branch. We'll keep working hard in future as well and try to live up to everyone's expectation, inshallah. So it was an honor to have you, sir. Thank you once again. So moving on, now it's time to hear from our keynote speaker and the attraction of our today's event, who is none other than Professor Dr. Muhammad Harun Rashid, sir, Fellow IIT UK, Life Fellow IEEE USA, Professor of Electrical and Computer Engineering, Florida Polytechnic University. He is also an ABET Program Evaluator for Engineering Program, the series editors with the CRC Press, the editorial advisor of Electrical Power and Energy with Elsevier Publishing. He is a distinguished lecturer for the IEEE Education Society and a regional speaker for the IEEE Industrial Applications Society. Besides all these, there are also numerous achievements of him, but we undergraduate engineering students mostly know him by the book Power Electronics Circuits. And Sorry. Am I audible?
You're audible.
No, sorry, my audio got disconnected. I'm
We
really
can hear
sorry.
you. We can hear you.
Sorry about the interruption. Let me continue again. So basically, we undergraduate engineering students mostly know him by the book Power Electronic Circuits, Devices and Application, written by him, which has been translated in 7 different languages that includes Spanish, Portuguese, Indonesian, Korean, Italian, Chinese, and Persian. And I myself have completed my power electronics course, taking guidelines and notes from Sir's book. So I'm really looking forward to today's session, and so are our participants as well. So without any further delay, I would love to hand over the floor to our sir. And in the meanwhile, if anyone from the audience sections has any questions during the presentation, you can drop the questions in the chat box, which we'll try to answer in the question and answer session that we're going to have later. So now I would like to request Harun Rashid sir to take the floor.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. This is my, good morning or good afternoon. Thank you for, asking me to approaching me to give this lecture. I'm so honored to speak something about, myself and also that the topics. And I really appreciate that. And the other thing I appreciate that, you are, one of the place like Islamic University. It is not only Islamic universities in international, multi, countries or different countries. And there's the different atmosphere. It's not only the knowledge, it's also giving your faith and the belief and the Islam. There's the distinguish that. The other things I was very pleased to see that, this is being organized by IEEE. I am so, proud of the IEEE. I think IEEE is a lifeline. Without the IEEE, that keeps me what is going around the world. And I call that after 4 or 5 years or 6 years, technology moves so fast. If we don't keep up with those technology, we will be, I call it professionally dead. And that's the one life has to keep us there. And also, I'm so glad that, Bangladesh has IEEE sections. And then also nothing makes me so proud. Dr. Shahnaaz, she is involved in the SWE and encouraging women. And we get a long way to go about, equally what you call this, distribution or engaging for the women to be, educated, and especially in engineering and science. Nothing makes me more happy to see a young the engineers or potential engineers, particularly women. I appreciate both, but we need to look at that. With this one, the question comes there. I've been to other universities, like I was in many universities there in my life, and I also I was 2019. I was in Islamic University in Islamabad. This is a similar, atmosphere, in terms of a religious atmosphere and the learning atmosphere too. Okay, with this one, why I decided to pick this topic there, I think this is something is very important. It's very important to know that, the trustworthiness and the reliability. Most of every country's people has to rely on some judgment. Even you are riding a car, you first thing you ask that the driver of your car, you have to rely on the person. And it doesn't matter what position you are, prime minister or secretary or whatever that one. If the driver says the car is safe, you should go to the car. If the driver says the car is not safe, I don't know where else it go. That's why you have to depend on the person who has the knowledge, and we can rely on that. And my mentor when I was young, very child, my mentor was my Nanabai. Nanabai. We are born and brought up, in his place. He was called the Lakbarali master. If you beat him, he will not take one lie. You can rely on that. We need some people like that. Okay. That's why I thought that, we are all young professionals. There are a lot of resources we can learn, but can you learn something about the awareness? I am not giving any test, but I want to share with you what our responsibility, and can somebody rely on us? That's this to make an awareness. Some people may like it, some people may not like it. People may say, is it doable? But it's individual one. And like I would like to, as I said, I would like to thank that IEEE, IIUC, branch, thanking for inviting me. I'm so, as I said, I'm so honored to be here and speak to you. I will be, there is not something that there will be no test, nothing else, but it's kind of general consensus about we as a human being, and we are privileged people in this society. Some of you are in this listening to this presentation, but there are thousands and thousands of them in Bangladesh. I know I originally come from there. They are not so privileged to listen like you are listening there. They don't have the computers. They don't have many things. They are not privileged to go to a university like, your university there. Not even a college to go there. This is the situation. You are a privileged person in the society as a whole. Now here, I want to mention to you, I don't know whether heard about Washington Accord. The Washington Accord is an accord was done in, I don't know exactly 1986 something. The question comes here that if I am an employer in like a General Electric, and I know the graduates of MIT or graduates of Purdue, what electrical engineering or mechanical engineering or computer science do. But if I go to Bangladesh to hire a graduate, how do I know where that qualification of that, how the standard is? Then you go by the name, that's the good one, that's the good one, this individual. Now, Washington Accord was started that is called the mutual reciprocity, so that the manpower, what you call this, the mobility of that forum. What does it mean? That there will be some standard. Once you got a standard, that standard will be followed, educational standard followed by whoever in the member of the society. Like if you are selling a garments, coming to USA, coming to China or other places, I would assume that it goes to the same test. This is basically some standard for a Washington Accord. This accord has an agreement. Now, what does it mean? That let me share you that screen. The agreement was who are the members of the Washington Accord. The members of the Washington Accord are a lot of countries. Currently, there are a lot of signatures there. That means you can see that India, Pakistan, and I was in 2017, I was in Pakistan, and they were very happy to get this accreditation. Now, this was 2017. Bangladesh is a provisional member. Okay, what is a provisional member? The Bangladesh is trying to prepare themselves to have some arrangement or assessment or developing process of ensuring quality of education. And once they do that, the member of this team will come and certify. Then what does it mean? Like Pakistan had joined, Peru joined that. Like you can see, the Costa Rica is a member. What does it mean? That if electrical engineering in Costa Rica is being credited by this with the Costa Rica, that this organization, that degree is equivalent to a degree in UK. If you got a university, okay, Oxford electrical engineering degree or the Cambridge electrical degree is equivalent to that degree. That's the mutual agreement you have. Similarly, India also joined that. India joined 2014. That means if in India, like India, I was in 2017 and 15 there too. A lot of Indian universities,
Sir,
they are trying to catch it.
I want to interrupt. We are not seeing the screen you are sharing. We are seeing the PowerPoint.
You don't see the screen? Let me share the screen, okay?
Okay.
Share the screen. Okay, thank you. Share the screen, okay. Can you see it now?
Yes, sir, we can see now.
Okay, thank you. I thought I shared the screen. You see that that the India, I was in 2015, and many years before, 2015, they got 2014, they got the accreditation. Then they got this, the Indian degree, like many of the Indian degrees, they want to be accredited by NBA, National Accreditation Board. And then because once the degree is, accredited by NBA, that degree will be equivalent to like American MIT or Oxford or Cambridge in Australia. That's the idea. Was like Pakistan has got it 2017. And there was, so I saw that. I met this, the president of this, the council. They were so happy. Okay, what does it mean that if Bangladesh is trying to have that, process developed? The other thing I would mention to you, and then to become that, to come to be a licensed engineer is called a chartered engineer or a PE to certify for any building and something. They have to come come from an accredited program, like like a accredited program. In Bangladesh, once this being accepted into that, once it being Bangladesh accepted, that Bangladesh to give this licensing to practice in Bangladesh, they have to come from an accredited program, not by not necessarily from BOET or IUB or whatever that one. They have to be come from an accredited program. Just to let you know, Washington Accord is very important to be joined this Washington Accord. Okay. Now the question come here. Bangladesh, as I mentioned, is represented by accreditation board of the Board of Accreditation for Engineering Technology. That is the one represent that. Okay, Bangladesh. Okay. And now what happened that one of the requirement for that is that they should have this, you have to institution or the program has to ensure they have an understanding of the level of practice. Okay? Of that ethical principle, committed to professional ethics, and the responsibility and norm of engineering practice. This institution has to show that, or not, they have to demonstrate they can do that. But this is the one, all this, the Washington Accord, you will go to UK, you go to Australia or India, this Bangladesh, if you look to the Bangladesh BATE, is this responsible for that? If I go to the BATE's website, BATE's website, this is the one institution has to show that if you're seeking, like, your university is seeking for accreditation from the BATE, you have to show that students, has the knowledge, they can solve problems, they can have design solutions, investigation, modern tools, they understand the engineering society. And what is the society and how they relate to the in society and engineer, the environmental sustainability. These are the one, and the ethical principle. Then the other one, work in a team and a teamwork, because in these days nobody work alone. Most of the work engineering or many things is a teamwork. On the religion or a mosque or anything, teamwork. The other one, communication is very important to communicate. It's not how genius you are, or whether you can communicate with the people in the upper level, lower level. And then also project management, finance, lifelong learning. And that IEEE give you the lifeline I mentioned to you. These are the 12 of them. If you look through that, so far, most of them, if you're looking for the textbooks, number 1, number 2, B, C, D, E, okay? But rest of them are not really engineering as such, doing someone. This is the real life situation. This is, now they have to do that. This is the base. If you're in any university, those who are go for some of the universities in Bangladesh, you go to the website, they're going to say this has been created by that, the base created by Bangladesh base. That means they have gone through the process. They have to show them. Okay? That's a quality assurance. Not only that, it's the criteria. You can see on the right-hand side, criteria is the faculty, financial resources, students, and then this is the one I mentioned, curriculum. They have to have a program objective. The one I mentioned, program outcome, quality improvement, and so on. So that, just to mention to that, that's very important to go for accreditation. Okay? Now, after I already tell that, that's very important. Why it is important as an engineer is very important, because in 2015, I was in India and different places. that this Tata company I had an IEEE asked me to give a lecture. Then they said, okay, how about give some drives or some electrical engineering that, But I said, how about some ethical issues of what engineers has to deal with? And after making the presentation, the manager who was in charge in the Tata, in Hyderabad, he said, why don't you stay on one more day, talk to our engineers. We got thousands of engineers we have in this building. They would benefit, but I had to leave. That's why this is very important, that ethical part. My job is to tell you why it's important. Now, you may not know that. There was a person that early, his name was Peter Belonsky. He was from Russia. When Russia was trying to industrial civilization, then they asked him to see how we can improve that, more productive. And then he visited many of the miners. He found that they're in a situation their walls are cracked. They're in a miserable situation. It's a difficult situation for this worker to work. Then he wrote this report. Once he wrote the report, then the government, Russian government, did not like it, because all the bad things found that they were not a good one. But eventually they put him in a jail. He put him in Siberia, but they needed him during the war, because he was very outspoken. He was protective, the laborers. He makes some changes, and then eventually they think that he's making a problem. Eventually he was shot by the Stalin's order, 1929. He sacrificed his life to have what you call the engineering, production engineering or industrial engineering. He fight with his life for the future of the humanity. And that's just to give an example for that. And then, he gave his life, he could quite be there, he could be rich, he could be comfortable with life there, but he didn't do that. He wanted to save what he wants to do, for example. The other example was 1986, when the United States was a shuttle, is a Columbia shuttle, was going on the top. Then one of the engineer, he's in charge of this Roger Boyle's lead. Roger Boyle's in the Boyle's Joyley. He was the engineer about the ring, one of the ring. It's called the chief ring. That when the shuttle go there, the ring separated out. He says that there is the O-ring. There is a possibility high temperature it could fail, but he did not allow that one. He didn't recommend it. But what happened the next morning? This the manager of the NASA, the manager of the NASA told this engineer, his manager, Peter's manager. He said, you are an engineer, but you are a manager. You take a hat of the manager, and then not an engineer. And then what happened that they launched this, that hat. They needed this shuttle to get some money, and then eventually there was a disaster. All the crews died. That was the disaster. It's called the Challenger disaster. What I'm trying to tell you that he's given his position there. Then after 30 seconds, when it's launched, it's gone. Now what happened that he tried to stop it, but the manager would not stop it. But what he did, there was an investigation with the Congress, and he told everything about what happened. Then as a result of that, he became a bad person. He told the truth. He told the truth. He became a bad person. Eventually, he resigned. When he goes to the office, everybody look at him. He said a bad thing about NASA and so and so. He resigned. But eventually, he gave his 33 years of his professional life, and then he was giving some lectures in different places. You see, people sacrifice to what they believe in. That's very important for them. Yeah. Coming back to our work, just to give you two examples, I will define something: morality. What is the morality? Morality is the belief and understand what is right or wrong. This is the morality. What is good or in a human being. If somebody is crying, somebody is dying, I don't know who will be laughing, okay? And that is this human morality we have. the right thing to do and the right behavior to, and it's the wrong thing to do. Okay, wrong thing to do. If you see an older woman, somebody's kicking, or somebody is doing something bad thing, that everybody understand as a human being what is right and wrong. It's a morality. The moral means it's like an enthusiasm. You got high moral, high, doing some work. That this is the morality and moral. They're different ones. The other comes is the ethics. Is the rule of ethics. What you should do, some rules, some behavior. What you show. You go to the school. You come to like I look through your university website. Then after in the evening you cannot go other places. You stay in the hostel. Then you have to go for a prayer. And these are the some your rules. You do that. These are the principles you set it up by that have some ideas set up by the moral principles you set it up. Okay, these are the generally ethics you do. What is right or wrong? Some of the ethics come from religion. Some of them comes from your religion and by religion by Muslims. If you look through, like a definition of a moment, there are about 9 or 10 criteria. What the person, how you judge the moment there. If you look through the Surah Marriage, I think it's 70, you can tell also there are about 9 or 10 of them. What a person is a good person, a good Muslim is that. These are the principles guided by, not in the morality, but by the religion and stuff, what is good or bad. But what is the professional ethics? Professional ethics is basically set of rules. Personal rules is by the ethical one by come from your home, by the religion, by the training, and reflection. Some people, based on the home, they learn, they have the training, depends on which training they take it, and this is their personal ethics. Some people may believe that I don't want to go for the war. If I'm working in the army, I don't want to go for a war because I have to hurt people, I have to kill people. A lot of people is a personal belief, okay? And I also believe that I don't go to the sun because I will get a burn. This is called the personal ethics. Okay. Now the other one is called common morality. What is the common morality? A set of rules or ideals are in a culture. It is done by a common people, common community. Like once you have some common morality in Bangladesh, India, and then in the United States, and they may be different. It's a common morality set of more ideas shared by most of the culture in society. Now, what the professional ethics? It's a mixture between the professional and common morality because we are a part of the community, part of the person of the family, part of the religion. It comes of professional ethics is basically standard set by professionals. Like if you got IEEE have some society, if you are like an Institute of Engineers, they will have something like this, and how the engineers behave, what they should do. It's a professional ethics. If you had been judged by some action, it will be by all of them. This most often they always overlap that. There is not a hard and fast rule for that. But the question comes, what is a profession? What is a profession? This is an act of commitment to way of life. This is the you do the things, the committing to do a way of life. Like if you got a doctor, the doctor committed to do some things to help people, okay, but relieve the pain of that. If you're an engineer, has that committed to help, to design things or help people there. Each one has a nursing as a different one. As a teacher is to help share the idea that is, this is the way is a profession, is a group of people, is a term, is a professional group. People, they are referred to as a free act. They decided to do themselves, whether you want to be engineer or doctor or engineer or nurse, whatever that, or any laborer, it is your free act decided that. And then this is the one when I mentioned about engineering here, I mean they're all engineering, scientists and IT person, all of them. Now here, coming back here, professional ethics has some professional code of ethics. Okay, these are the common terms agreed by all some of those people there. Like in Bangladesh, student engineers has some course, then that IEEE has that, and this is the code of ethics. This is the professional code. This is a professional code of ethics, and is expressing the explicit ideas between the professional and the public. The public. This is the code of ethics, means how you treat the people, the agreement, and with the people and the professional. We are now coming into the letting the public know what we should do. Like that tells you that promote the well-being of the public. The idea is to have the public that if you're an engineer, you expect this and this. You expect from a person. You expect that do good design, be honest. These are the things, the professional ethics. Now, these are some standards. What are the standards? Then all of them will have some standards and operating procedures, how we should practice that. And then also, sometimes you don't have some procedures or standards. Like, there was in like a 9/11 that the Twin Tower was burned there. Those engineers who did those buildings, the standard was like 40, 50 years before. Now the standard has changed. And then some people have to make those, the decision to handle that. Okay. For example, if you are a civil engineer, like in Dhaka, you see, or Chittagong, you see the roads are doing that. The roads are they are doing the road work, bring there, taking the water pipes and in and out there. Is to, and the workers go into this, they go to work on that. There is no hard and fast the specific rules how the standard will be. The engineers or supervisor decide whether this should be safe or not for the worker. That's why sometimes not always the regulation does not cover that. Like, when you have those like worker working on this, the water pipe there, you don't know how they will step, whether there is a safety process there for them to step up or down. These are the one, not always you can follow the regulation, the rules and regulations. Now, if you all are IEEE, let us look to that. I don't know how many of you read the Code of Ethics. IEEE says that. The IEEE Code of Ethics. If you are a member, I'm a member, we are supposed to follow this Code of Ethics. If I violate that ethics committee will be judge me by this one. One is to look at this. Take the responsibility, accept and responsibility, making decision consistent with the health and safety with the welfare of the public here. You know that you are an engineer, you are a scientist, you know what is the health and safety and welfare of the public. You know that. The ordinary people, they don't know. You have to make the decision. When I put my cell phone in my ear, or the ordinary people put in the cell phone in ear, whether this is safe for this person or not, they don't know. They need your judgment. That you take the responsibility when you make the decision that release this one cell phone to the public, and that you take the responsibility for that. This is very important. But the other one, you should avoid conflict of interest, perceive the conflict of interest. You should avoid this conflict. Be honest and realistic stating claim and estimate. If you're giving an estimate that you can say, I can do it, I cannot do that, you should be realistic estimate for that. You should be honest and realistic. And like, I'm a professor, if I give an exam and I think that students cannot finish in 2 hours, it may take 6 hours, but that I have to be honest and be realistic. Then reject bribe in all forms. This is a problem around the world. It's every place is the bribes. You can do that. Improve the understanding of technology. We should try to communicate and improve the understanding to that in technology, the appropriate application and potential consequence for that. We should always improve understanding of the technology, sharing with other people, and then applying them. This is a part of that. Maintain and improve the technical competence for that. That means I'm a professor, I'm a student, I know everything. That's not right. I should try to improve and maintain my competence. Because if we are graduate today, after 20 years, things have changed. As an engineer, you need to maintain and improve your competency. That is very important, either training or experience of other way. Seek and accept honest criticism of the work. If you do some work, if somebody tell you there's a problem with your, your work or your presentation, like I'm giving a lecture, if you tell me that, you didn't make some clear some of them, we should accept the criticism honestly. That is very important for that. To treat fairly all persons regarding of your race, color, and gender, and disability, and age and national origin. It's very important that, people get old, they're different race, different color, you name it, different belief there. Because the world is now, is not, is a world is, what do you call this, is a global place. And a global place is not the same one. When I left at that time of the East Pakistan, there was no direct flight from Dhaka to, I went to London. I had to go to the PIA from Dhaka to Karachi to London. But now you can take a flight from Dhaka to anywhere in the world. Okay? But this is the one you need to have that, and the engineers these days, you see in Bangladesh or Chittagong, I was in Chittagong, I work in, refineries. I used to have engineers coming from France, different countries come from that. They avoid injuries and property and reputation of this, the false accusation for that. You should avoid those injuring others, either by property or by reputation of that one. And then also assist I don't know where I can go now, assist these colleagues and co-workers. If I know a knowledge, I should not hide it, because some people say, well, I know something that I discovered. I will not let my other friends, like if you are students, you understand something, it's a difficult question, things, professor was explaining. If you know that how it works, you should share with the other students. Yeah, with this one, you're coming here, one of the items, it's a very one, it's called the bribe. What is a bribe? It's basically paying something money, exchange of special consideration. Yeah. I give you some money, give me admission to this, this prestigious, university. Yeah, that's the bribe. And there are some cases happening in, United States. There are lawsuits coming up. There's some parents give them some money. Now somehow they manage to give a bribe, and then they manage to get some, admission to prestigious university. That's happening. There are some cases. Okay. It's normally bribe is given to government official or any official violating some of the official duty or responsibility. Okay, and that's what happened. Give a job, I give you some money, and many things there. Okay, I heard that. Recently there was some exchange going on about this higher education. What is going on? There was a human rights group. There was something there about Bangladesh, and the payment might result from the officials not making the right decision for that, because they make you corrupt. You cannot make a judgment. And that's the one thing, because what happened, then make you corrupt, make your judgment, you cannot make it, they tarnish your reputation. Then you can buy the person. You can buy it. You're talking with me, you're talking to the person, forget about it, and I can buy him. I give some money, buy them. The moral is not right, immoral. And then that doesn't give you fair in the market competition and unfair advantages of some people in competition. There are a lot of side effects the bribing has that. Extortion is threatening somebody. They are not violating any rules or nothing said that. If you don't give something for me, I am with you. Okay. If you don't give the admission to my son, I know somebody else, I'm going to take care of that. Or many things there. And if you don't give me money, I'll do something for you. They are not violating the rule, but it's the act of threatening someone with the harm. That is the extortion. Well, other one is called the grease payment. What is the grease payment? They are not violating any rules, but threatening you, but they facilitate some bureaucratic decision, is fastening the passage. For example, I'm standing in a line for a line there, I'm somewhere there, I give somebody money there, or my file, passport application, or any other file, put me on the front there. Okay, and that is this grease money. Grease money. They are not violating any rules or policy, but facilitate some bureaucratic decision and fastening the passing through the like for customs you can go there. And this is the one. The gift Okay, you get a gift there. Okay, gift, there is no definition of a gift. Is it a $1, $10, $100, or 1 lakh? What is the gift there? Okay, there is no limit for that. As a result of that, the United States prohibit the gift. But some countries has, it's like, giving a gift, you have to take it. It's like, pride. Like sometimes it happens to one place. We as a team went to the Abbott visit to outside the country as an evaluator. You can see my background and the Abbott there, because Abbott is the engineering, like Bangladesh is a BAIT, and America is the Abbott. And I will be going through one of the, I will be preparing for a visit. That's why, when I have a meeting, I have this Abbott one there. That one, United States prohibit that one. It doesn't matter, but some countries gift is a normal one. And if you don't take it, it's like a prestige. But when you went there, somebody give me a cell phone, one of this, something, give it to us. And then, we use those. And when they come back, what do you do with them? And if you return them, they will not like. And we just left them. We decided, as a team, we left in the car. In the car, we left them there. It's what it is. Okay? The honesty is the heart of the profession. I'm a human being. If I don't have a heart, I don't have anything there. I am not a human being. Heart is the heart. It is the honesty is the heart of the profession. If the person cannot say, I can rely on the person, that is gone. Honesty is the person. If a person tells the truth, is the truth. The one professional should be honest and truth in their profession, and avoid a conflict of interest. That there should be, because that will be, this will distort a professional judgment. You cannot make a real judgment. You cannot do the professional. There are form of a dishonesty. What is the dishonesty? Honesty means an opposite of that. Honesty is the dishonesty. One is the lying. That is a very serious. You don't know what the person is saying. That it's a misleading information. Deliberate deception. They are not lying it, but saying this some way, giving the impression. The sun is not there, is not rising, but they say, well, the sun may be coming up, maybe brighter, maybe you give some perception as that. Then other one, you're withholding the information, because there are many things in the story. If you got a story that you're not telling the whole truth, you say some of them, okay, not all of them. And that this is a holding information. You are not telling all the story for that. And they seek to the truth. If you find, if you are doing something there, that you are doing a lab, you are doing a design, some information is not there, you cannot know the exact result. And you look for the truth and be honest and find out the truth, and the truth, and then make the decision there. Like example, like you heard about that, if there was like a Rana Plaza, there was an accident. There was an accident couple of last year or this year. Then a building collapses. If you are working in this, investigating an engineer, finding the truth, you should be the truth, be honest, tell what happened. That one, not hiding anything. You see that many things happen there. Now, if you're a scientist, come here, it's called the trimming. You did some results here, your results are here, for example, going around it. Then when you put the results, a nice one, you say, this is the one, forget about the other one. This is the trimming, you make it, that trimming that you do that. That's not, this is something you should tell them, that this is, what happened, but this is this, generally trend is like that. You should be honest. Okay? The other one is the cooking. You say that the results are, some of them are not there, the discard them. You say, this is the one I got, that one, you can justify it. Okay. Then you're looking for, there was a case, there was a Robert, is a milling man. He got a Nobel Prize. First time it was rejected. He was accused of copying from somebody else, but eventually he did not have enough data. The acquisition was, he doesn't have enough data to make a sound judgment, and he was accused of misrepresenting the data anyway. But eventually, that he proved it, he got the Nobel Prize. The forging, forging research data is happened to. Okay? The forging means you don't have it. You never go to the lab. You never go to the lab. You draw something, some curve there. This is a forging you do. Like and then you force this instructor's signature. That's what you do. And even this small kids, I don't know about Bangladesh here. I don't know because I never had my children going to Bangladesh here. That every week the parents has to sign the students' homework. Okay, that they have seen them somewhat. Some kids, they are very smart. They will sign it themselves. They will copy the. They know how the father and mother sign it. They will copy this one. The plagiarism is very important for intellectual property. Those people are doing a research or doing the college or education. Plagiarism is in the use of intellectual property without proper permission from the other one. You do some work, somebody else copied, it's a plagiarism. Now the other one happened is a multiple authorship. This is a very, very common. This is some people will claim that they claim that multiple authorship. The question comes there: did everybody contribute to the one? You find many times one publication, many people do that. Now, are they really there or just put their name there? Some places I know, I can tell you that I'm working with my boss. I publish something, I put my boss name or department chair name or head name to please him. And that some people do that. These are the things happen there. There are a lot of fraudulent claim about this, to authorship, and there are many things happen there. If you look from many people, authorship, the question comes how much they are. They include a boss, because especially in some countries, they got this contract job. Your contract will depend on your boss, like a department chair or somebody else. And if you publish something to please the person, you put the chair's, the chair's name. The chair is happy. Want to become a 5 years, 10 years chair, you got 100 or hundreds of the publication has, but he or she knows nothing about it. These are the common there. Now, other things happening in these days, the technology is growing. Technology changing every year. What is the technology? Technology is making a things or tools. It's a tools, making a tools. Like I communicate, I write something. It's a tools there. Like you got a screwdriver. It's a tool. Now, if I look through the definition, it's going to say application of science to solve practical problems. That you can also define that too. But there is a controversy between a technology and then technical pessimism. This is a very common one. What is this one? Like you see that because of the technology developed, so many social problems coming. You're coming on TikTok, you're coming for Facebook, you're giving this, one. Look at that, like in Bangladesh coming with the digital security law, and different countries, how they're putting. One people will say, well, why do you bother for that? Don't do anything, there will be no problem. But the other one is that, is the pessimism. Other one is that let us develop it. If there is a problem, we'll solve that. This is both way, is there. This is the picture I show you. That was in one time I visited Dhaka. I saw that. You see that? Are we human? Are we human? He's got a father and a mother and a child. They don't know as a human being. There is no connection. There is no love. There is no affection. There is no hugging. There is nothing there. It's like, think about it when the child will be grow up, how he or she will treat the child there. That is not the way that we as a human being, we got a life, the sorrow, sadness. Different calamity comes in life. You don't know. That is the way you need to have some connection with the parents so that we learn from that. They are our models. This is what we are, where we are going. We need to ask ourselves, are we still a human being? Are we still our relationship we have? Are we developing our kinship with our family? This is the question we need to act for. Like technology has a penalty for that. The other one I mentioned to you, intellectual property. The intellectual property has different types of that. What is the intellectual property? Like, if you have some mental laborers, there are laborers, they do some building, there's some rishka, they do many things there. And then we are grateful to them. But the other one, the intellectual property is the mental labor. We are a laborer, all of your laborers there. It's called a physical labor or a mental labor. Intellectual property If you got a physical level, you build a building, build a structure, build a road there, and then move from Rishka from one place to another place. But it's like intellectual property. If you are an engineer or scientist, you are taking from one step to the another step. Is a mental level. Now there are some trade secret. Is a formula. And the trade secret, you don't know how the Coca-Cola, what's the combination of them. The patent is those, the patent is the one you file up a patent for, a particular idea that somebody had designed, have this cell phone, how it works, they have a patent for that. The trademark is the phrase, you was there, or some sound, or some symbol, like Coca-Cola has some sign, different countries have that, and the different company has the trade names. You have a copyright is the creation of that book or a picture, or you're writing a movies or a program. These are go for, like if you got copyright is for 50 years, like I have my book, like I have some books that when I write this book, I give the copyright normally to the publisher because it's like the product, I give it to them. I don't own the copyright. The copyright, even if I die after 50 years, they will have that copyright until he's or dead. Okay, that's the copyright. But sometimes they can give you back, if they want to. These are these, intellectual property issues come there. But many thousands of publications are published in IEEE, and IEEE sponsored. Not only IEEE, there are Elsevier, Springer, and many of them around the world. The question comes here: how do we know these are the original work? That's why there are different conference papers, they can find it out for how much is the originality, what you do. Okay? For my classes, I give them, it's called the Turnitin. Many universities is a very popular one, Turnitin. I put my report. If I put my report or your papers or anything that, they're going to tell you exactly this particular example, 16% from where the original was cited there, how much percentage of that. You see that? This tells you 55% of that coming from somewhere there. It's very important. I may think, or somebody may think I'm sitting in my computer, nobody knows, I'm on the website, copying from that. But once I put this one into Turnitin, then Turnitin will tell us from the originality came from that. Once you are, you have been what you call the accused of cheating or copying, and it will be very difficult to get out of that. Okay, it's very get out of that. I know there are cases you can I can search for Bandung Institute of Technology is in Indonesia. There was a PhD work. He or she got the PhD work. It was found out that work was a copy from another somebody's, the conference paper or something. They have to take his PhD work out. Okay? Now that's very important. Once you are caught into the ethical issues, your professional life is gone. You cannot come back. Okay, there are some examples. I know somebody else was involved in such case. The person was a secure job in one country there, and then he was trying to do his PhD, and then he got caught by the IEEE. Then he has to resign and go. He asked me to. I have a connection with this university. It was in Malaysia. They asked me to talk to them. I said I cannot help you for that. Okay? That's the situation. Okay. The other one, you can see that with the computer coming here, social media coming here, a lot of things coming here, biotechnology. We have to take this biotechnology. I have my medical record. I have those in my cell phone. I go to this offices. I take the vaccine. You don't know where those information are going. People know everything about me. They can. I do the shopping with credit card. They can find out which shop I go, where do I go, where do I do the travel, how much money I spend. They can do everything there. There is no privacy. Most of the times now, with the website, you're going to tell you that you waive your privacy and stuff. This is, and also programming and computing programming, another one. Who owns that? Many questions come there. That is this, computer program you develop or something you develop. That is a big area of that coming up is intellectual property. There are some. In Bangladesh may not be so many of them, but United States has a lot of patent come here. It's called the intellectual property. This is the branch of the law coming up there. But Bangladesh, not many. My son is an attorney He's an electrical engineer, bachelor's, master's, and he went to the law school. He's an IP and an attorney. And that sometimes people will ask that if there is a case about intellectual property in Bangladesh, do you have any person could refer to? That's a big problem. Now here you can see that I'm scared of this, the virus and stuff and hacking that. Suddenly you are going through a website, then suddenly your computer is being taking control of it, and they say give some money, otherwise you're gone. It's happened. Okay, you got to completely crash. It's happening here in the United States. You got a pipeline, oil pipeline, gas pipeline. They hack you. The school record. They hacked your school record. They have all the information of your school. They say, give me money. That is a big problem. Is coming up there. And then also one of the things to let the people know, you need to know, let the people what is happening there. If you are having some, Bangladesh has some nuclear plant, you should have that. You should tell them what is the risk for that. That's the one you should inform the public of what is the disaster. If there is a hurricane coming, you're telling to tell the people what are the risks involved there to help the protect the public there. It's very important that. Just by the way, I mentioned your nuclear one. Germany has decided they will not have any nuclear the reactor or anything like this. You can search the Google. There is a city in Germany. There's about 50, 60 years old, a nuclear plant. They are now the small city. They're giving someone of the iodine people in case it leaks, so that they can precaution there. I can search from this one. The nuclear plant in Germany is going to come up that they give. I don't have the link here. They give you that already iodine they're giving in case they're exposed to. The conflict of interest is the heart of that. Conflict of interest. This is a very hard of them. For example, conflict of interest that you have some, conflict of interest like you are. I am a professor. My son or of them coming into my class. Okay, that's a conflict of potential interest. Or I am a boss. My son or daughter will be working under me. This is the conflict of interest. What is the conflict of interest? There are three types. The apparent. It's apparent. It may happen. It's a reliable that. For example, I am on that. I am on that. I want to serve like for university admission committee. I want to serve an admission committee. I know that my son or daughter will be applying for admission. I want to be in the committee. There is apparently there is a possibility, apparent one. That then now I'm in the committee. I'm in the committee. Then once I'm in the committee, then my son or daughter is already the applicant there. I'll be serving the committee. This for the potential here. The actual, the actual means actual judgment. I am now reviewing this application for this person. This is the way to avoid the conflict of interest, the actual, potential, and apparent. All of them is possible here. But like here, here in this country, United States, that if I write a reference from any of the person, I cannot be, make a judgment or on the committee for that person there. Okay, that's what it is. Then I want to let you know some stories. You may not heard about it. It is called the DC-10. 1972, Douglas, McDonnell Douglas, there was a door, there was a problem with the door hatch there. Then one of the engineer, he's at Applegate, he wrote to the vice president for Convair, to that the problem there, but nobody listens to him. No, nobody listens to him. That what happened there, nobody, nobody passed this information beyond that. Vice president didn't go to the next level, just ignore it. As a result of that, 2 years later, 1974, that crashed in Paris. It's still about 346 million. Okay? That person tried, he could not get this work done. This is this consequence of that. If the management was taking some action, this will be safe. Yeah. Now here, this Ford Pinto, there was a car. Ford Pinto was 1970. There was called the Ford Pinto. Is very, very popular car, but the gas tank has some issue there. Okay, if it goes after certain mileage or there is a crash, it could explode that. That was it failed. Collision. About 11 or 12 collision is failed, When it crashes at 20 miles, they crash. That's what happened. One of the engineers didn't know, and then one of the engineers, he knew, or I don't know, he or she knew that problem there, but they will ignore that one. What option the person has? The person has that if you tell the authorities, tell them, if they don't do anything, then what you can do? You can, if you complain to them, then you go to the public, go to the newspaper, and they tell them they could fire you. If they fire you, they will find the reason to fire you, then lose your job, and then you are fired. This is one thing there. Then what happened that other option, you resign. Once you resign, you leave your job. That's what this person did. Okay, that person, he resigned. Then he went to this, he went to the public and tell them what it is. Okay, you see that they give their profession. You could come quiet. They don't do that. But you are an engineer or scientist, computer engineer. You see that this is the sky of that the planes flying. One day there was a disruption of that computer failure in UK in 2015. You see the sky, all the planes are there. You are an IT person, you can see what is going on that, and on the top there. You are the one is in charge of it to make life easier for people or let them crash. Okay, you got now very important job because people trust on you. How many people are sitting on that plane there? This is the one, somebody sitting in a computer that can see what is happening there. My email, your email, whatever communication we are having now, somebody can see everything what is happening, what I'm saying, what you see, they might see their failure. What is, how far he or she should go? How far is how far? What is the limit for that person? Who decides that? This person make the judgment. What authority give that? If the authority doesn't give it, what you do? This person can give a lot of information to many people. They can give that. This person is very important. Maybe sitting in the desk has a lot of information about me and you and the country and the whole world for that. This is very important. Person has to know that. There was the things happen on that, one of the IT failure. I don't know where it is. You see how many people on the airport, you don't know how long they will be there. This is things you need to look at. You are in the IT, you are in the computer, you are designing it. Then you have a responsibility that people can trust on you, rely on your judgment. Okay? There was a one popular case. It's called the GM is a car. The GM is a car. The GM car has, what is the car was? If somebody is driving, if you're driving the car, in the car, if you go to a certain speed, like 60 miles or 100 kilometers, you are driving, suddenly the car will stop. You're running the car, going for a highway, car will suddenly stop. Then what happened that one of the reporter, when the GM is the new car, finding out there is a new car coming up there, the GM, one of the reporter, she was driving the car, the person was at top. He found out when he was driving like 40 miles or 60 miles, suddenly car stopped. He complained that, and the GM knew that. Okay, GM knew, but nobody did anything about that. The culture was the GM was, you go to the meeting and everybody listen, nobody complained. That's what happened that, didn't know about this ignition switch until, later on. And that was going on. Okay? That was going on. And then as a result of that, there was 54 crashes, 13 deaths from that. Now here, I cannot see this one. There was the last CEO, what do you call this? Chief Operating Officer. She is an engineer. Okay? She is an engineer. She has the moral obligation to find out the truth. She formed a committee to find out the truth. Okay? Truth, and then there was a 360-page report. What happened? What the problem was, and all of them. What happened that the chief engineer, he didn't know what was happening there. He ordered to make the changes, but it was never done. And he called that one. He says, we don't know what with this one. It's called the switch from the hell. Okay? You search the Google, switch from the hell. Okay? He didn't know. He called that switch from the hell. And that is the name. You search the Google, you'll find the whole report about 350 pages roughly like that. Now that was the situation comes. She's an engineer, she did her job, and she is a CEO, and she had the report, she found out the truth. As a result of that, she kept some money to pay for those victims. If you are IEEE, and there is also, I also am a fellow of the IET, the British one, they ask this member, can you promise those things to do? Okay, can you promise this to that? Promises to that, I maintain the health, minimize the health of the safety, I keep with my new development, and I know my limitations and what I need to improve, limit the impact of my work on the environment, and then make the best of my resources, remember my responsibility in the future, report confident in a respect confidential information, maintain the prestige of the engineering profession, and then report on on what you call this wrongdoing, corruption there, use my knowledge to improve this life of the others. This is the one they ask that, can you promise the young people? Now I'm not going to ask you, think about yourself, where do you stand? And then I want to give you very quickly, I don't know how much time I have. I think I got more minute I got. I want to give some examples. I want you to participate. Give me an answer for that. I want you to please participate, give an answer to that. First question I have. First question. Gym is a gym's company is like a dye department, like a dye, the dyeing that they're looking for a contract. They're looking for a contract, outside contractor, like a contractor you do the work. Now the student, one of the students, he or she is a worker. Jim is a worker student. He's doing a co-op or something intern. One of the manager from another department, from the other department, they have also dying, their business. The manager came, the other manager came to him, to Jim. Jim, why don't you tell me what is this other people bid for that? Tell me what are the other people are bidding. You tell me, then I will bid a lower one, and then we get the contract, because it's the same company after all, and then we keep the money ourselves. Our company will be richer for that. And that's the one. He's not his direct boss, but he's a boss from other department. What Jim should do? Who can give anybody answer? What he should do? Jim has the option to give me and say, well, yeah, I know that's the lowest bid. I say, well, I cannot do that. This will not be, this will not be the right thing to do. I'm sorry, I cannot do that. And he may go and complain to his boss. This is up to him. What Jim should do? Anybody have an answer for me?
As this is confidential information, he should not share this with others.
Okay, are you a student or a faculty or somebody?
So I'm a student.
Okay, what do you think the other people? Anybody else?
I think we should report his boss. Okay. Someone is pursuing me.
Okay, that's the one. Okay, he shouldn't do that because it's not right, right? The other one, then is a computer crash. That I'm a patient or patient went to the computer for X-ray machine. If you have been to the X-ray machine, you go to the machine, under the machine, they lie you down, then this, then the technician come and then do what to do for that. And then this lab technician, he or she did the X-ray and doing this one. What happened that when this was doing that, when it was doing that, it was a crash, computer crash. And then the patient got some, hurt. Now, the patient did not follow it because, it has to be the right height. The technician set the height of the device, top of the height. The patient did not hear the technician, and they crashed under this, weight of this, the machine. He crashed under this machine there. Now the question comes here: who's responsibility for that? Is it the technician, or the patient, or the program? The technician say, well, it was the program, it was not programmed properly. then this, he or she can say, well, it was this, patient should have been more careful about it. And he should have been more careful about that. And then you can go to the blame for that. The programmer should have said that, I did the right programming, but it was not this, right. It was the problem for the, or whatever the reason. What is this for solution for? What is going to resolve that problem?
There should be a safety feature included in the programming, I think.
No, he didn't do that, or she didn't do that. What you do now?
In that case, the technician should be careful more, as it is his responsibility to maintain the patient, or he should be more responsible whether the patient is maintaining the guidelines or not.
Okay, anybody else? What do you think? What you should do? You are in the charge of the hospital or this clinic. What you should do? Anybody else? Come on, there must be a solution. You cannot just leave it alone. You see, this is the issue. There is not a yes and no, hard and fast. The answer, each person would approach in a different way. What was the possibility that the hospital should look into all that process? Programming was done right, that that there was a process for instructing this patient, and all the procedures, step were doing that, check it, whether there was a check, we can do that, right? The second one. Third one, John is a student, being a co-op student, and doing a summer job in a oil exploration. Oil exploration means you go with this oil, exploring the oil in like a Bay of Bengal. They go there and do some tests on the soil. Now, when they did the soil, they give him John as the job to look through the results of the test. The test has been done. Then, test has been done. This was the John. And then, what happened to Paul? He knew Paul from high school. Paul gave him the job, summer job. He's grateful to Paul. Paul is an engineer. He's grateful to Paul because he gave him the job. And Paul was in charge of doing this test. And Paul did that. Now Paul is doing very well. He's expecting a promotion. Now he's buying a house. His family, his wife is expecting a baby. Everything is doing well. Okay. Now what happened that when John was looking all the results, John found out that during the exploration of that testing, there was one chemical. John did not put it there. Okay. There was one chemical that has to be putting into that one there. Okay. He omitted the steps involving adding some a certain test chemical to lubricant into the test. Okay. As a result of that unfortunately Paul forget to add that chemical in the rate, but the results are not that. John found out that he did some survey. Okay, he did some investigation. He found that his effect is not significant. Okay, effect is not significant. It's not significant, but it has some effect. It's found out the effect will be about 1% of the test, not really significant. What John should tell. If John tells that truth, the Paul may lose his job. The job market is not good. He owe to him. Now, if he doesn't do that, he's not telling this truth. He's hiding something. What he should do? What do you suggest? What John should do? Tell Paul, his boss, that this is what happened.
Yes, John should disclose the matter.
Which one? He should tell?
He should disclose it.
Okay. He should tell this, the thing, right?
Yes, yes.
What do other
This
people
is a
think?
tough scenario. What if this percentage is not 1%? What if this percentage was more than 30% or 60%? I think he should report it.
Report it. Okay. Well, it could crush. Okay, it could be wrong. The other thing for John, he knows that he will not be truthful. Okay? He has to hide it. What you said, he should tell it, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. He will be in that. Okay. The other one, shortcut. Shortcut. Think about, you are an engineer, probably civil engineer. You want to make a road from Dhaka to maybe some places close by. There is to do that. There is on the road, on the way, there is a house. It's a house, farmhouse. It's about 150 years. The house is there. They are living, the whole family, generation living there. Now, if he can make the road straight, they can, they will be, it will be simpler. That will save these people like, about 20 miles. It will save it. Otherwise, it save a lot of time. Otherwise, it will be like a 2-hour trip. Now, if you don't do that, it will be like a long time for that. And then he can recommend to the state or the city that take this house, break the house, make a road straight, number one. Or number two, he can or she can bypass this house, go side by that. People will be driving more, longer trip. This is the choice he has. But he is an engineer for the city. He has like like a Dhaka Trust or Chittang, the trust. He can order. He can ask the city to take the house, and that will be. They talk to this people owner. The owner says that this was my generation house. It doesn't matter how much you give money to me. We will not give it. We will not give this one. It's a family tradition. It doesn't matter how much the farm costs. This is being entered farmhouse for 63 years. That is what it is. He should not. They will not give the house to the government. The government has the power to take it. And the government has the power to do it. What he should recommend? He should recommend to take the house or make a bypass.
I think for betterment of mass people, government has compensated more and more as much as possible because it is public interest.
What do you think he should ask the government to take the farmhouse?
Yeah, I think the government push anyway for the mass people benefit.
Okay, what do you think of other people?
Relocate him for the betterment of mass people.
Okay. Do you agree the other people you agree with our friend?
Sir, I would like to say that if we can build over bridge or something like that over the house.
Okay. Breathe over the house.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you breathe over the house, if the breeze collapse, they will die and they will sue you.
Yes.
There will be noise. There will be noise. There will be other things on the top of the house. Do you agree that?
Yes, sir.
What is the consequence for that? Can you make the house? Can you make the road on the top of the house soundproof so that they can sleep? They have to go as high as possible.
Maybe tunneling under the house.
Or tunneling. Okay. What happens if there's an earthquake? It may fall, right?
Yes.
It doesn't solve the problem, right? You see that? That is not. It's a hard. This is the one is a hacker. This person was Draper. If you search the Google, you'll find it. He was very smart. He's the one. He started that IBM. The IBM at the beginning has the design of Easy Writer. IBM like word processing software, 1981. I used that. Easy Writer. IBM is a word processing. And then he was this, he's the one who designed that software. He's a very brilliant one. Now, what happened that he became like a hacker, computer network hacker. And then as a result of the hacking this, different sites, different stocks and market and stuff, he became pretty rich. Okay, he became very rich here. Once he became rich, after becoming rich, then what happened that, he became rich and then he was caught, okay? He was caught. When he was caught that he went to the jail, he became homeless, he became lost his job, he was a millionaire. He lost his job, he became homeless, okay? Now after that, now he's saying that I have learned the lesson, I'm a good person, I've changed. He applied to you for a job, okay? And he comes to say, well, I'm not a bad guy. He realized I'm not a bad guy, and now you trust me. I'm not a bad guy, trust me. Would you give him the job? Could you give him another chance?
No, I have already lost my trust on him.
What do you do? Give him a job again?
No.
No? What do you think other people?
Considering his expertise, I think I should give him another go.
I will also give him
It's a
another
second
chance.
chance. A second chance. Okay.
This is something, you see that? You can say, well, this person, you can rely on him. This is the bad person. You trust this bad person. You trust him. He's a bad. He was a bad. And now he has to prove that one. You see that this is the situation will depend on each person will behave differently. Okay. I can see that there are different opinions, different opinions there. This is the one I have to show you. The ethical cases, there is not a yes or no answer. We need to make an individual decision for that. I want to give you one example. Dr. Rashid had taught professional ethics. As a part of the course, students have to write a contemporary report about IEEE papers, like a 4 or 5 or 6 pages. That originality of this report should be about originality should be more than 70%, similarity should be less than 30%. The students finished the work and got it great. Now after about, I think it was in the summer, fall, and the spring term, he sent an email to Dr. Rashid. Dr. Rashid, I have to be honest, this report I submitted to you, I didn't write the report. What I should do? If you want me, I will repeat the class. Okay. Now, Dr. Rashid has to respond. One response, one action he or she can do. This is me. I could report to the dean of students that it is copying something. It's like a serious fact. He asked for a grade. It's like a code of ethics. There will be serious action for that. Number one. Number two, I can ignore it. Number three, I can ask him to redo this work, or I can ask him to take the class. Okay, I got a 4 option. What Dr. Rashid should do?
Dr. Rashid should ask him to redo the report.
What do you think the other people?
Yeah, I
think
believe you can ask him to repeat his work again and submit it to you again.
Repeat the whole class or the report only?
The report only, if you're willing to be humble towards him. So you can ask him to repeat the report only.
What is the punishment for him not, for doing the bad thing?
Sir, maybe the grades can vary. If he was about to get a good grade on his report, then for the resubmission, you can cut some marks or something like that, maybe.
Does anybody have any other answer?
as reporting to the higher authority may affect his career, you can ask him to redo the classes again as a punishment.
what I have done, I thought all of them, what I have done, then I told him, write the report, make sure this is the work you have done, and also make sure it's a good report so that I don't have to change the grade, because if you get a less grade, grade in this part, it is going to, I have to change the grade, okay? And I took the view that I told him the thank you. I thank you came and you realized that I taught this class. I feel like at least to give a message about that, that something is going ahead. It was, I'm thank you for that. You came back to me. You released that what about the things you have done? We as a human being, he knew that it's not the right thing. It was bugging him. He was having a sleepless night. Okay, he came back. I'm sure he thought about it. You released yourself. I thank you. You realized that I did, as an instructor, I must give you the message. It's very important for that, right? And then I told him to do the report again. That's the one I told you, okay? I tell you another one, it's not there. There was a case here. There was a case, I don't know, it's a Washington University, the University of Washington. And then one of the history person, when he was doing his, the oral exam for PhD, he said, I want to go for bathroom, okay? I have to go to the restroom. He went to the restroom. He was looking for the answer to this question, okay? He didn't know the answer. He got the answer. He came back, did his PhD. Many years was then with the PhD he did. And then whatever job he did when he was 80s, I don't know, 83, 84, then he went to the university. He told them that I cannot take it anymore. I did something wrong. And what this president should do. President should take his degree off. He's 83 years old. And then, what did the president do? President could do nothing. And then he can take his PhD off. What he should do, the president do?
This is a tough case for us students, sir. But president cannot take his PhD back, but they can come to other arrangement, I suppose.
Anybody has any answer for that? Or do we have a president here?
For his honesty, president can just
Yeah, what happened there? What the president did? You can,
no.
yeah. What the president did say, okay, already he used that degree to earn his living. Wherever he was there. What does it help? What the president did, he didn't take his PhD. What he said that, or she said that, you do some voluntary work. Go and tell this, for 1 year, 2 years, give some lectures to the young people that this is not right. This is the one you shouldn't do that. One thing I tell you before I'll tell you something like that. Okay, I want to show you what engineers do. Do you see the building? I went to visit in Malaysia 2015, I believe. Okay, then this is called the Knowledge City. Malaysia has a city called the Knowledge City. You get everything like a smaller size of Taj Mahal, Makkah, and then Blue Mosque and many things around the world. All of them is called the Knowledge City. That is the city I visited there, and then they showed me there. This stadium was supposed to open in the evening. The morning around 10 a.m. around the morning it collapsed. But thanks God, it did not happen when the people were there. Okay. This is the real one. Engineers, it's very, very important what the engineers do. Every calculation, everything, they have to be honest. They are taking the lives of the people. I told you, right? Like I told you, even the Bangladesh Prime Minister, when she goes to the car, if the driver says, Madam, you should not go to the car, she should not go to the car. And he, doesn't matter how smart or intelligent she is, she has to rely on that particular person who is knowledgeable. That's very important. Okay, I showed you the picture. Can you see the picture?
Yes, sir.
Looking What do you think about this picture? How you interpret that? Woman, she's trying to face a lion face to face. What do you think she can fight with the lion?
No, sir.
What
No.
she's planning, what she's trying to get?
Is she a trainer?
What she's trying to do? What is her motive? She is it right? Is she's trying to? She wants to have that. She wants to convince the lion, I am not a bad, I'm a good one. Let us be friends. She wants to get the heart of the lion with her love, affection, like call, talk, nice talking. Is it right? What she's trying to do?
I think she wants to do that.
She wants to convince the cat, I care about you. Be nice. I'm nice to you, right? You see that if you have a right personality, you can face that, right? Okay, you see that she's trying to, it's a love and affection. It's very important in life. Even she thinks that she can win the heart of the lion with her, with a nice talk, nice voice, be a nice person. Now, my question to you, if you are a man, how many men would like to, how many of the boys you have there, anybody there would be like to be like that, stand up and against the lion?
No, sir, I don't think so.
Anybody there?
Oh.
No? If any of the girls would be like to be like this girl? Are there any girls there?
Sir, if we're under any kind of safety measures, then maybe we can try.
At least you'll try, right?
Yes, sir. If there are any safety measures, like there's no possibility of the lion attacking us or anything like that.
Is any boys there would like to do that?
Sure,
Please
sir,
try.
why not? Sure, sir, why not?
Okay. You know that this is the way the woman and a man both can do that, right? And I want to show you. Can you see this one? Can you see
Sir,
this?
it's not visible, but I believe it's a handbag.
Okay. I'll show you another one. Can you see that?
Sir, it's a handbag, but your virtual background is messing up the visibility.
I see. Okay. Okay. I think my background is different. The camera is not picking up, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What does it say here? What does it say there? Intelligent women are dangerous. This is the bag made in Bangladesh. Made in Bangladesh. That says the bag is in Shariat police. Made in Bangladesh. My daughter bought that. It's like it says the intelligent women are dangerous. The women sometimes don't underestimate women. They could be smart. They could be intelligent. They could risk many things. Okay, be careful about that. They're pretty smart. Just to tell you that. Okay. Here, people, men and women, both can willing to take a risk. Don't underestimate anybody. Right? It doesn't matter whether it's a man or a woman. I know that some people think women like a different way, but that's not true. Okay. I want to say something to you. You are at least all of you 18 years. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
All of you are more. I want to show you. Let's talk about something we don't want to talk. That's the reality of life. Do you see statistics about India? There are about 109 children were sexually abused every day in India. This is a fact. This is by 2017. Cases were reported in 2017, were reported in 2018. This is a sexual abuse is there. You can see that the child abuses, child rape, 13,000 cases of adults and girls, children intended to encourage their modesty and so on. So you see how terrific it is. One of the person, I don't know what that is, an MP. He's the one, he started to act a law. He said, let us not forget it. Let us not forget, do something about it. He started that law, I think, he started the law. Let us do something about it. Don't ignore that. This is the real life. Every, you can see that every day, 109 child are abused every day. This is the good thing about it. The Indian government now, there is a website down there. You can download the whole report. That whole report is available. That's the good thing. There are some way to know about it. Okay. Pakistan, what happened to the Pakistan? I was in Pakistan, Islamic University, was 2019 before the pandemic. It's the same thing. Shocking. 3,044 children were abused in 2017, according to the report. Okay. You can find that Pakistan also has has also reporting agency. Thanks to that Pakistan there. Okay. This is what is happening. This is in Lahore. Pakistan, there is a law, you can have the own law. They have a law now. This is the good thing about it. Bangladesh, look at that Bangladesh. This is the one, is like the last 12 months. I think it was in 2015. I don't know exactly. You see that? These are the things are there. These are the things there. This is Sylhet, you are in Chittagong. It's not a better one. It's the darker side is better. This is what is happening, right? In Bangladesh, 2019, 1,000 kids raped 2019. This is on that Daily Star news. Sexual abuse was women, was like, at least 1,000 women, okay? But this could be your sister. It could be your sister. They could be your mother, okay? We should not forget that. They are part of us. Part of us. Please try to be aware of that, make people aware of that, they are our sister. They are our sister or my mother. It could be one of them a mother. You never know, like India mentioned to you, that person, whoever was subjected to, they might be your mother. They are not telling the truth. They are not telling it because they're ashamed of, they're hiding themselves, okay? We should try to be careful about it. What I try to tell so far, professional ethics have the moral, ethical, social, professional responsibility. Professional has the responsibility to exhibit the characters of virtues within the framework of professional code. Then as the technology develops, that it will be controlled, not by you and me, controlled by beyond our society. You don't have any controls, even by the society. Bangladesh government is trying to do a lot of digital law, but still a lot of people are doing that. There are a lot of things happening there. One of the things is, one of the person, he was the president of the National Academy of Engineers, he says that the technological problem is not a problem. If there is a problem, somebody in the world will find our solution. If there is a power electronics problem or IT problem, any other problem, somebody in the world will find a solution. What is the problem is that the problem is that this social effect of the technology. Somebody designed this cell phone, has a camera, can take a movie, that somebody is smart enough to develop that. But this device goes to the people, they don't know their responsibility. They don't know as a human being. They are not educated. They never go to the school. They never go to the college. They don't know anything about it. They have no moral and ethics. They take the cell phone, take a picture, take a camera, make a movie, They abuse the children, abuse the girls, abuse the women, and they put a video and put it there. There are a lot of happening there. You see, that's this to these girls, to this woman. This cell phone is a weapon for them because they destroy their life. Destroy their life. They destroy their pride. Destroy the whole life for that. This is something, is the technological impact of the society. We should be aware of that. And we need to pick those, some group of people, they are smart, they are making the new things, but majority of the people in the general population, they are not aware of that. There's a controversy like here, the controversy in every place in the USA. They have to take a vaccine or not. Some people smart enough to develop the vaccine. Some people will not take that. This is something is very important. I just want to know that last book I have, that will be the last book, probably a control system, you will see soon. And I also, edit some books. I'm an editor there too. This is the one Dr. Shanas, she mentioned to you. I have a book on outcome-based education. The one I showed you at the beginning about this, the debates, there are some of the 12 or 13 outcome. This is the outcome-based education. At the end of your degree, what you can do. It's not what you learn. It's not what went to Islamic University, went to BUED. It doesn't matter what you can do. That's outcome-based education is basically, don't tell me from where you get a degree. Don't tell me what you learned, but tell me what you can do. It's the outcome-based education. That's why the Washington Accord listed 13 of them, 12 of them, the students able to do that. I think with this one, I have a book on microelectronics. I got another one too. I got this lot of books I get. You can search the Google, you can find it out. This is my power electronics book. In my life, I have a lot of books. I wrote it there. My shelf is there. If you are in a Facebook, I have a Facebook that is called the Microelectronics, Power Electronics. There are some of the files are there, some examples there. Wherever I go, thanks to Allah, I got a lot of respect. I was in Mexico. This is the situation, lined up to get my autograph. The Indian people, I tell you, they know how to respect the teacher. I was in 2019. You see, that's the Andhra Pradesh. This university give you free food. It was established by one of the school teacher. He gives a free food to every student during the lunch time. Teacher and students, everybody there. That lady on the left-hand side, she is a professor. She read my book. She teaches my book. She did the pronouns. She said, "You are my, learn from you." This is what happened there. Okay, this is what happened. There's a big ceremony. If you have seen in India, all this conferences start with this, the light ceremony. Okay, with this one, I would like to thank you. I hope you have some idea about about this. What is the responsibility? What do you think in your future? With this one, I would like to thank you again. This ends my presentation.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an insightful session. We are really grateful for the time and effort you took to share your thoughts and experiences with us, and also educated us about the engineering ethics and its importance. And besides, you also enlightened us about the other related topics as well. So now we will be moving towards our question and answer session. So I would like to request our participants to submit their questions in the chat box so that our speaker can see it. Or you can also unmute yourself and ask the questions directly. So I'll request everyone to drop their questions in the chat box, please.
Okay, am I audible?
Yes, Mushfiq, you're audible.
Okay, so I have a question. I enjoyed your lecture, sir, a lot, and thank you for the wonderful presentation. You yourself have a wonderful career that we admire. As a student, we all are pursuing success blindly without knowing what success actually is, as it is a relative term. I want to know what a successful career means to you.
Successful career, there are two things. One, first thing has to be, I consider that you have to be good faith. To have a faith, you have to have some, I call you need the dunya, you need the akhirah, both. Okay? Because I think that Dunya is the ladder to go to the akhirah. And that gives me this, this is the first thing. You should have a faith, and then have a firm faith on yourself. And then you should try your best to do your best and leave it with the Allah take care of that. Okay? And that is not your responsibility. It's not my responsibility, the number one. Number one, you should be looking for some opportunities. Opportunities. What I think that when I had my undergraduate degree, I think I had a key. I was given a key. That key was open the door for me to apply to many places, that time, USA, Canada, whatever that one, to go for that. You are given a key. Now with the key, if you use the key for open, whatever you go for, this is the key given, you can go anywhere in the world. That's the key you given them. That's the one option. Other option, you keep the key and just sleep with that key. That's the one. Look for an opportunity. Okay. Once you look for an opportunity, try your best to do that one. Number one. Number two, try your best. Then try your best. Be honest. That's my suggestion to you. Then when I did my master's degree, that key became a better one for me. It's a bigger key. It opened the door for me to almost to go any place. That's the time was in that was the time in 1971. I did my master's. Then that time was the Bangladesh, was there all the time. Then I could immigrate to Canada. I can go to Australia. I could go different places. Give me something to look for that. This was a bigger key. When I did a PhD, it gave me a bigger key, another key. It opened one is opened your world, well, another one opened your bigger than that, bigger than that. That's what happened. Look for opportunity and be faith on yourself. Faith. Number one. Number two, we need to be happy. You may have a lot of money you have, but you may be an unhappy soul. One of the things, my personal view is that it doesn't matter how rich you are, how much money you made, what you did in the life. All of us has to be lie in a dying time. All of us, you, me, and everybody, will be living for a minute. A time will come, we are ready to go. That time, our brain will reflect everything I did in my life. I can close my eyes, or you can close your eyes. You can think about a picture of scan your life so far, whatever you are, scan your life from your home, childhood, that you can do that, right? That moment will come that, you will be reflecting, or I'll be reflecting my life, what I accomplished, what I did, I wasn't honest or not. And then how did I make the money? If I something illegal stuff, that will hurt me or make me happy. I call that, in the Quran says, give them a respite, they will come back to me. Okay. Maybe not today, maybe tomorrow, 1 year, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. I tell them, think like, give an example, Prime Minister of Bangladesh, give me 50 years. It's not bad. It's a question of time. Another 50 years, I will not be here. That's why a thing will come, they will be hurting them. Okay. Be honest, be happy most of the time. Grateful to God, Allah, what He has given to you every minute. What you could do if you didn't have arms, what you would have done. Think about simple question. I told you about ethics. What happened if Allah would have given me in my head a mirror of what is in my mind? You could see what I'm thinking now, evil thought or bad thought. You would hate me if I had an evil heart, but He blessed me. He did not give that. Number one, think about it. He created us. He asked this, all the angels to to, to what you call this, to bow down to him. He's not asking to bow down to, he said that he is the one, but he so much respect he give the human. So much respect he give the human. How would you like that, who respected so much you and me as a creator? And then, we should respect that too, right? I don't know whether I answer your questions.
Yes, sir, you did. I don't know what will happen to myself in the future, but I would like myself to recall today's session very much. Thank you so much, sir.
If you look through the Quran, Allah says that Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Qulillahu yuhyikum summa yumitukum summa yajma'ukum ila yawm al-qiyamati la rayba fihi walakinna aktharahum la ya'lamun. I have created you, I'll make you death, I'll raise you again in the day of judgment. This simple thing, most of them, they don't understand. It's so simple thing. It doesn't matter how much powerful you are, a minister, whatever that, give them time. 30 years, 20 years, 40 years, just give them a time. So what? That time realize what we have done right, what we have not done it right.
Thank you, sir.
Any question? There are no good questions, there are no bad questions, right? All are good questions.
I request our other participants to ask their questions if they have any. Sir, we have a question in the chat box. I'll read it out to you.
Okay.
Sir, in your enriched career, have you ever felt disappointed and felt like you need to stop everything? And if yes, then what did you do to inspire yourself to get yourself back on track?
I did not have that situation. What I had always, and my plan, I will have a strategy. I would have a plan. I would have an alternative strategy that if it doesn't happen, what I do. I will have some, as a result, I did not fail, but I don't think I failed. I already planned before. I am a risk taker. I take a risk. I calculate out the risk, the probability of success. Like if you look through my the credentials that I was like moving around the different places. I get a degree from BUET. I worked in Chittagong electricity supply for a few months. I went to Chittagong refinery. I was a process engineer. Then I went to, it's a long story, I went to UK to do my master's. I did my PhD. Then, then I'm looking for in 71 that starting the Bangladesh and Pakistan, is Pakistan war. Then I had to live with like, like a social security from the British people because Bangladesh government was not set it up. Then I did my master's and PhD. Then I work in a company called the Brush Electrical Machines. Then I come to Lucas in Birmingham. Then I went to Libya. I was in Malta. Then I came to University of Connecticut. Then I went to Montreal Concordia University. Then I went to Purdue Calumet. Then I went to chair of engineering. I went to be chair, Fort Wayne. Then I came to West Florida as a department chair. Then I came to this new place. My daughter lived in the city. I tried different places. I went to Singapore about 10 years in external examiner. I used to go there. And I used to go to Malaysia external examiner for about 12 years. And I'll go to UITM or the Science Management University and then also other universities. You see, I calculated out, I took a risk and the calculated risk. Life is a risk. I don't know whether I answered the questions first on that.
I believe who asked the question got their answer. So I'll request others to ask their questions if there is any. You can also unmute yourself and ask the questions directly. And if you feel uncomfortable saying it directly, then you can also drop the questions in the chat box as well.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. I have a question to sir. Professor Harun sir is my teacher's teacher actually. So it's a very engaging time for me. I'm not sure whether I'll be able to express all my feeling in my second language. I'll try my best to do that. So first of all, sir, thank you very much for being inspiration for my teachers, for me, and for the people's coming out now. The books you have written has made so many best electrical engineers of the world. So thank you for that. My one question to you, I have gone through several sessions of yours. Is there a possibility to have a biography of yourself? It's a great, I know it would be a great biography. So will there be a possibility for biography for yourself so that the future generation of Bangladeshi engineers, your students, us can feel, and we can say, like, if we see the today's session, I know that people who were there can feel that what is very important for engineering ethics, how an engineer should think. It's not making some mathematics, it's not doing some calculation, it's not just reading, memorizing power electronics or something. It's more than that. Your decision makes people's lives and deaths decision. The examples sir has given, I think we have all seen. So my earnest request to you, sir, is there a biography already? I have searched, I haven't found. If not,
No,
please.
if I had a time, because I got so many books I wrote. According to the Library of Congress, I got 22 or 24 books. Okay? In addition to 5 or 6, published by Seeing in India. Now, if I had a chance, if I could in my life, I would like to go write a book about my life, about journey of what you call this 40-pound suitcase. Okay, I would like to write a book on journey of my life from 40-pound. When I left that time from Bangladesh, I left with this 40-pound suitcase. That is this my life. Okay, that will be my goal. But I don't know, when I started this one, I thought I would write one from my childhood, but I did not have that one. But you have to have a big faith, and also you have to have your what do you call this? You have to have a faith. You need also blessings from Allah. You cannot do that. Some people life are blessed. Some people has a lot of difficulties, but I was fortunate. Okay, Allah helped me, give me a lot. I am grateful. Grateful to Him. There is no way I can express every day. But you have to have a commitment for that life. Commitment, for example, I tell you, am I done, or want me to answer that? Okay. The commitment for that, you have to make commitment. One thing I think that when I was child, when I was going for, it's called that time it's called the metric exam. Metric exam is called the matriculation exam. During the matriculation exam and 10th grade exam, that my high school started is called this Milad, called a Milad. During the Milad, they bring one of the ulama, give it one, and they ask you to pray, okay, for those what do you call this, those who are giving the exam. Now during this prayer, they ask in a mall, school mark Gorasha High School in Moranda or Kumilla. Then I was standing up. They asked standing up, and I was young man, is about 16 years or 15 years, and I was crying because my father died when I was young. I didn't see any future, and I was crying for a long time. Allah helped me. Okay? He accepted my dua, and that's the number one. The other one, try your best for your faith. The other one, I tell you that when I older, then I was coming to my one day, this is my story. One day, a couple of years before that, my son asked me that if you died today, are you ready for it? Okay, he was in the car. Then I said, it's true. Then I asked myself that if I die today, and if if I have to face the angel, ask me that Surah Yasin is the heart of Quran. Did you memorize it? No. Then when I was in this, child, I used to go to the village, the village to memorize the surah. And then I started, when I'm memorizing, then suddenly that Imam told me that you should start how to pray. And I started praying. And I started the surah, Wailul likulli humazatil lumaza. I started that one, I never finished it. I never finished it. Then sometimes a couple of years before, I say, well, I didn't memorize it. If I die now, Surah Yasin, I did not memorize. I did not finish the surah. How can I respond? I cannot. I make a commitment that if I do, one in a month, it will take me 7 years, 84, 83, 9, 7, 8 months. I made a note that I can make it that, one in a month, I can do that. I become confident. And alhamdulillah, I did that. Okay. That is the commitment you make, and then follow that part. I did this one. Alhamdulillah, I did that. Like nothing make me happy like now. Happiness. Somebody asked me about happiness. Nothing can make me happiness. Like I was driving a car, not driving a car in the highway or staying in a home. You got 7 minutes, 8 minutes. I will, recite the Surah Yasin, 5 minutes. Surah Rahman, Surah Mulk, that nothing make me happy in that. It's a commitment to do that. After I made the commitment, then after that, alhamdulillah, I did this one, I did 30th, and I did this couple of things with it. This is the way you have to make a commitment and follow that commitment.
Thank you
Did I
very much.
answer?
Yes,
Thank
you very much, sir.
My advice to you, my advice to all of you. If you are a Muslim, try to, I tell, like one person, I took the mosque on my, what you call, my Bhagni's, father-in-law, go to the mosque, took him for the Imam. He told me that he should try to, read that Surah Mulk. Okay. If you all die, we'll all die. So that, it will help us. Then I tell him that, did you memorize this? And no. I said, why don't you do one thing? There are 30 lines. You take a one line in a 1 month, 1 month, one line. Then in 30 months, you'll be done. 3 years, you'll be done. Why don't you try? Can you do one in a month? See, yeah, I can do that. And then I started from that. And he started from that. I advise people, make a commitment to do that. One in a month, and it will make you happy. Nothing will make you happy in life. Then do this way. I can sit down, go to visit somebody else. I can go visit somebody else, and then do something there that will make you happy. Nothing will make you happy that to do that. Try that. My advice to you, that try to memorize a part of anything you can do from Quran. This is the voice of the Allah. Reading is one thing, and then memorizing with understand. It gives you a connection with the Creator. My suggestion, one in a month. You can do them once in a month.
Inshallah, sir, I will try. Inshallah, I will try.
Once in a month, okay? Once in a month. It works. For me, it works. To me that, I did this, I tell my friend, one of my friends, he says, why don't you look at the Surah Mulk? I started from his house. I got this, inshallah, alhamdulillah, I did Surah Yasin, Surah Mulk, Surah Dukhan, Surah, Luqman, and then, Surah 50, like Waqia, many of them, this is very important. Try with the understanding of that, one in a month. One line in a month. I talk more than I need to say that, okay?
Thank you so much, sir, for your impactful guidance. I'm sure we'll be all following those.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. If you still have time, I just wanted to share some experience. If you give me the floor.
Yeah, sure. Sir.
Yeah. So, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. It was back in 2008, 2009 when I was a student like you. So I was a student at Asanullah University of Science and Technology. I was bachelor student at the third year or fourth year, and I had the pleasure to attend the seminar of our guest, Dr. Mohammad Harun Rashid sir. And it was like I told you before that in the previous one of the webinar that for me it was like a dream came true. And I still remember the points that sir told over there. The point is that what should you have, the vision that you should have for your career. So I made the plan that was 2008 that okay, so then I should go for like some academic achievement in after my bachelor's. So that was some kind of booster for me. Then I did my master's. The next year I applied for a couple of universities in Europe, and back then it was Shahidul Islam Khan. Shahidul Islam Khan sir, he was teaching us power station, and he was a teacher, professor of BUET as well. And he suggested me few universities. After the seminars, actually, I got boosted up like, okay, I should go for that higher studies. And then I approached to Shahidul Islam Khan sir, and he told me to apply for some other universities like University of Ulm. And luckily, it got clicked from in Norway, and I traveled to Norway, and from Sweden as well. 1 year I was in Norway, another year I was in Sweden. So it was like a sandwich program. So alhamdulillah, I did my master's over there, and then after a few years, I did done my PhD. But I still remember the seminar that I attended, and I always, probably during your 2 webinars, I already told you that how the seminar that I attended of Dr. Harun Rashid sir, and how it motivated me. It was something big for me, because the book that we were following, and the writer is just before us. And today I attended the very last part, but alhamdulillah, it is still like very influential to me. And I got some like vision as well, that when I'll be reaching at the end of my life, I would like to see back and what I'm doing, not only in that perspective of academic life, and also looking to my Islamic life as well. So I would not take it very long, and I would like to thank our sir once again. And I'm very happy that the way that I was get motivated by you and my students, they have the opportunity, and they got the opportunity to get motivated from you as well. So we'll not take it more long. Once again, thank you very much for attending our webinar. We are very much blessed to get you here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you
I'm
so
glad
much,
that
sir.
you made it.
Sir, we have another question in the chat box, so I'll be reading it out. What factors did encourage you to write book on power electronics and motivated you to achieve an outstanding career that you have achieved in your life?
The power electronics, I
believe this question is from someone from my semester, because we completed your book. When we were doing the power electronics course, we literally read your book and took the notes and guidelines from your book. So the question is coming from that side.
It's coming from that when I started my master's degree. When I did my master's degree, I was in UK. As a part of the master's degree, I did a project on designing an inverter. Designing an inverter as a master's project. And I did that. And after that, when I started to work on my PhD, then there was a professor, he worked in the British Rail. He was working on those British Rail, about those, the electric, the train and stuff. And also working with London Transport, about this electric one. That's why I work in the power electronics area. Once a power electronics area, then after PhD, I work in the companies, Brush Electrical Machines, and the Lucas electric vehicles, and that give me a power electronics. And I work in the industrial background. And by the way, I also work in a refinery as a process control engineer in Chittagong for about 2.5 years. I also have a control background. And my idea was to go for a control. That's why I did my master's in control. And it's called system engineering, which is control. Then as a part of that, I did motor control. And then when I did a PhD on that, power electronics drives and stuff. And when I came to Canada in Concordia University, then I wanted to, our first book was Electromechanics and Electric Machinery with Jim and Lindsay and Rashid. That was the one. But I decided to write a book myself, okay? That's what happened. The book was, I wrote in 1986. It was published in 88. It is a long there, many years. This book is used in many, many countries around the world in different languages, and that's why I wrote this power electronics. Now, power electronics is finding a lot of applications in your real life. If you're looking for like electric vehicles, which is coming up, slowly, many people will be looking for engineers. But if you're looking for renewable energy, it's also need that too. There will be a lot of engineers demand will be around the world. I can say. That's the reason. Okay.
Thank you, sir. So we have another question. How do you see engineering from an Islamic perspective?
Islamic perspective. Islam always Islam that motivate people to go to learn knowledge. The number one. Okay. The second one, Allah says that you seek the knowledge. The number one. Number two, knowledge for what? To explore your God. It's better to explore God to know who is my God. Okay. That the God has no limit. Okay. But the God is telling us to understand God, appreciate God. The more we learn, more we appreciate. Okay. Unless you know the benefit He has given you, we don't appreciate that. Everything I'm talking to you, I'm looking at you. This is the benefit He has given to us. I can talk to you as benefit for that. Everything we talk is a benefit. You don't know. You don't know how much benefit would he or she given us. The more you learn about the science, the more you do that, we try to appreciate that. God wants us to know about, to find out these limits of God. God has no limit. He's an unlimited God. Okay. And what happened that we need to look into interpretation at the same time. You have to interpret at the same time. Like when I was a child, I like a child in my brain, I used to hear that from people that, someone is writing on my right side and left side, what I am doing that, right or bad thing and good thing. I used to imagine that every day I do many things, do from morning to the night. Okay. I'm running, I was going other there. I used to think that there will be a lot of pages, like a pages and pages, not a page at that time. It's a big book. I used to imagine that. Now, coming back now here, I went to engineering, I studied, I work in a computer. Then I can see that the whole Quran or whole thing could be in a little chip, like a memory stick. The memory stick can do everything, right? Everything do that. This is the power. This is the explore to know my God. Okay, that is unbelievable. Even that people will say that I was reading an article that the person, he was an atheist. Then he did not believe God. He did all of them. At the end, he became religious. He became a Christian. He decided to become a Christian. He said that there are thousands and thousands of galaxies around this world, and we are talking about only one science of that. That's why the more you learn, more about the God.
Thank you, sir. We have another question from a faculty.
Before I do that, I want to answer the question to you.
Yeah.
I tell it that I was reading an article. That article says that one of the reporter asked, it was a science, science, asking that one of the person from Darwin's theory, the Darwin's thing is the evolution of the human being. We are coming here. He believes on the evolution, nothing of the religion. He asked the Christian person. The Christian person says, yeah, there is a God and everything there. There are a lot of science, everything there. Now, then they ask him that last summary, that the Darwin person says, if there is a God, big if there is a God, that God is beyond our imagination. If there is a God, that God, we cannot think about it. It's beyond our imagination. Then I said, it's true. It's true, he's right. Because Allah says in the Quran, if you look through that, Surah Kaf, the last line, that if all this, I'm looking the translation rather than the Arabic. If that all the trees were the pen and all the seas were that your ink, the oceans and ocean will be finished, but description of your Lord will not finish. قل لو كان البحر مدادا لكلمات ربي لنحمد لا بهيدا قل لو كان البحر مدادا لكلمات ربي لا نهيد البحر সমুদ্রের পর সমুদ্র শেষ হয়ে যাবে, but your lost description of your Lord will not be that. This is what it is. Okay, that's what it is. This is the God. If the ocean were the ink, were to write out the word Lord of my Lord, sooner will be exhausted, but the word of your Lord. How can we understand that God? It's not possible me to think about this God beyond my imagination. I think if you put an ant, little pipra, an ant in a glass of water, to this ant, the glass is an ocean. To me, as a human being, this is like an ant in a glass of water. This is beyond our imagination. That's what it is. Okay, this is what it says. قل لو كان البحر مدادا لكلمات ربي لا نفيد البحر قبل أن تنفذ كلمات ربي ولو جئنا بمثله مددا. This is Allah said that. Okay, you cannot think about this God. Okay? I hope I answered this question. I wanted to get more than that's true.
Thank you, sir. There is another question from a faculty member. So there are two questions actually. The first one is how to be an educated Muslim with modern education. And the second one is how much time you give for writing a book. How do you manage writing so many books?
Well, what is the first question about a good?
The first question was how to be an educated Muslim with modern education.
Well, there is not a question of a modern. Okay. There is not a good. The good is, there is not a good, like, good is follow. The main things to follow the faith, follow the faith, okay? Follow the faith, follow the dedication for God, okay? Dedication to God. This is the dedication for God. This is very important. Then the devotion to God, devotion to God. This is very important. Then also, this is the basic one. Whatever you learn to having the devotion to God. This is the main thing. We have to learn. We cannot be in that, anything we get a new knowledge. Knowledge give you, what is this one? Look at this one. You got a flower. If you look at flower pot, like, you got this, like, what you call this? Take the flower, like a gulab full. Take this one little pot. Slowly, it become a bosom, become a color and color there, okay? Now, if you don't give that light, if you don't give the water to that, this will not blossom, right? When you were a child, then, our child is like a brain. The day we are born, our brain was developed. Slowly, we may see things there. We do say activities, many things there. The brain expand like a flower I give it to. As a result of the more we keep the access of the brain, the more our brain capability, thinking capability goes up. And there is no limit on that because we are a part of that. God light is given out. He has given the light to us. As a result of that, we should try to expand our brain to learn more and more. This is the basic concept of that. Then the other one, to have the faith God. This is the religion God. Faith means one God, prophet, faith on that. This is very important to do that. This is what I think about it. Devotion. People will say that. Okay? People will say a different way. Question come here. Sometimes a question came up. Shall I read a Quran, which I don't understand? Recite the Quran. Shall I read this Bengali translation, which I understand? The third one, and then what is the use of reading the Quran? I don't understand it. The other one, I'm reading a Quran translation. I understand, but this is not the God's word. Second one. Now, the third option is a better one, reading Arabic and then understand it. There is no yes or no question. It's a devotion. The devotion to you. How much devotion you spend for the God. Allah, this is important. Even if you are reading it without understanding, you think you are pleasing Allah. That is also a devotion to that. For God, you are spending that one. This is to answer your question. We need a devotion to God, one prophet, and then things you do. By the way, I'm not a hafiz. I'm not an imam. I am not this. I am not an imam. I'm a general person. That's what it is. Okay.
Yes, sir. So the second question was how much time you give for writing a book, and how do you manage writing so many books?
Well, the thing is that I try to follow the routine. I try to do. Then my wife helped me. I don't know, until she's a medical doctor. We decided that when we decided to start our family, that I will be, working myself, academic. She will be taking care of the kids, and she decided to be, to be a housewife. And she did a master's on, in MPH. Decided not to work, and that she did all the work. I don't have to do anything about it. I just do write books, do something there, and then I follow a routine. I will have a routine. My routine will start morning. Like today, I prayed, and I prayed. Today I prayed, and then after pray, then I did some, surah. Today is the weekdays. I pray Surah Mulk, recite my heart. Then I go for a walk for an hour. I will listen to the Quran, Arabic and translation, and then I come back. And then, after breakfast, I come here. And that's the way I started working my books on revision or something. Okay. It's have a plan to follow this plan. But you need some help from your husband or wife. It's necessary to have it's a joint. Okay. It's like it's a help each other.
Thank you so much, sir. I think this will be the end of our question and answer session for now. And I hope our participants and attendees have learned a lot from today's insightful and enlightening session. So now we have prepared a very small token of appreciation for our today's guests and speaker. So I'm requesting our executives to share it on the screen.
Is it visible, Apu?
Yes, it's visible, Najana. Thank you. So this is
my success will be if any of you remember a little bit of that as a human being, our responsibility, doing good for other people. That will be my success.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm sure that everyone is motivated through today's session, and they will be following your guidelines to be a little bit better person in the near future. So moving on, it's time to hear from our session chair. But before that, I would like to give a slight reminder for our participants. There is a feedback form in the chat box for participants and their certificates. So if you have not filled it yet, kindly fill it up so we can send the certificates to you through your mail, and also have your valuable opinion about this session and our future events as well. So now with delight, I would like to call our session chair, Dr. Engineer Abdul Qadir Mohammad Masoom Sir, Associate Professor, Department of CSE, IIUC, Award Coordinator, IEEE Computer Society Bangladesh Chapter, Counselor 2021, IEEE ISC Student Branch, to say a few words for us.
Zareen, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning or good evening, everyone. My warm congratulations to all the honorable guests, respected faculty members, and my beloved students. IEEE IIC Student Branch are celebrating IEEE Day 2021. In this celebration, we have organized a series of 2 webinars, 5 tests, and 1 workshop starting from 1st October, ending on 16th October 2021. Today, we have a special guest, Professor Noor Mohammed from Department of Tripoli at Chuet. He's also counselor of IEEE Chuet student branch. We have enjoyed his thoughtful lecture. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us. Professor Dr. Celia Shahnaz is today's chief guest. We are very grateful to Professor Dr. Celia Shahnaz for her continuous support to our student branch. Recently, she is elected as the IEEE Women in Engineering Committee Chair-elect 2022. For the first time ever, one of the most prestigious positions of the largest technical organization on earth, IEEE, have been achieved by her. IIUC student branch congratulates her from the bottom of the heart for her victory. We pray for her new journey. Professor Muhammad Harun Rashid is today's speaker. He's a professor of electrical and computer engineering at the Florida Polytechnic University, USA. Professor Rashid is actively involved in teaching, researching, and lecturing in electronics. He has published numerous books and technical papers. He's a fellow of IEEE UK and a lifetime fellow of IEEE USA. His topic was trustworthy and reliability of engineering and IT professionals. In present situation, it is a very timely topic. We have learned many things from his lecture. As I'm a computer science graduate, I want to share my viewpoint in IT professional context. As like other products, software product can be misused to harm people. For example, malware can be created to steal money from a bank account of other people. Similarly, virus can be created to infect the computer systems of other people. That a software engineers need to abide by a code of ethics to shy away from such activities. To develop a system, an organization will share or has to share its business strategy. As a software developer, you cannot share the information of that company to others. It will be very dangerous for that organization. So we have to maintain our trustworthiness. Also, we must protect data privacy. So all software engineers should abide by a code of ethics to work for the betterment of humanity and not to harm others. Software engineers must commit themselves to making software engineering a beneficial or respected profession. Like software engineering, it is very essential for every engineering discipline to be trustworthy and reliable for the sake of mankind's existence. As observing many instances around the world, we can conclude that the world will be destroyed if engineers are dishonest. Thank you all our honorable guests to be with us. Finally, thank you all committee members to make the program successful. Good night, everyone. And again, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable words and We have sincerely approached the end of today's session. Finally, I would like to express my heartiest gratitude to our keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Harnoor Rashid sir, and our chief guest, Professor Dr. Celia Shahnaz ma'am, guest of honor, Dr. Nur Mohammad sir, session chair, Dr. Engineer Abdul Qadir Mohammad Masum sir, and all our faculty members that were present in today's session as well. I would like to thank all the executives and our convener, Ali Asfar and Arafat bin Zafar, who have been working hard for the success of our IEEE Day 2021 celebration lineup as well. So last but not least, I would like to thank our audience for bearing with us during this webinar. I hope our attendees have learned something new from this enlightening session and are motivated to be mindful about the engineering ethics along their future and the related stuff as well that has been discussed in today's session. Thank you all once again for being with us here today. Assalamu alaikum. Have a good night and stay safe, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.